friends and families around the world. Welcome to another edition of Our Kids Play Hockey. I'm Lee Elias, as always, joined by Mike Benelli and Christy Casciano Burns. And we have a very special guest today. We're joined by Malik Garvin, the program director of Ice Hockey in Harlem, an organization whose mission it is to improve the social and academic well-being of children from the Harlem community, and also invites children between the ages of 5 to 10 years old to get involved with the game with or without experience at absolutely zero cost. Now, Malik is an alumnus of the program. He started skating in 1996 with them. The program was founded in 1987 originally. He attended Western New England University, where he both played for the men's hockey team and graduated with a degree in accounting and finance. And Malik, I want to first off welcome you to the show. As I've said before, our goal with this episode is to highlight the work that you and the organization do. But we'd be lying if we didn't say you've had an interesting past 72 hours. And we just wanted you to walk our followers through everything that's been going on.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been an interesting couple of days. I think what has shown the most, our rink was shut down. I got a notice on Friday at 5 o'clock that our rink was being shut down in retaliation of the storming of the Capitol. So I had to tell our families, your season's over because of politics. All right, so everyone's absolutely devastated. The parents, the coaches, I personally, we were all devastated. But you know what, we stuck together, and I think that's what's great about the hockey community and all that. We have participants 5 through 18 years old. They've been playing their whole lives. We all rallied together. We got the word out. We applied pressure, and we were able to save our season. Right, this is the one thing these kids look forward to, especially now. They hang on to it. They take pride in it. So all of our players are from Harlem, and we're a hockey program, right? Like, these kids are hockey players in Harlem. The program's been around for over 30 years. And they identify as hockey players. They want to be hockey players. And it makes them better people for it. That's what we're doing. We're improving lives through hockey.
We are so excited to hear that the program's been saved, all of us. That's fantastic news.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite quotes from the weekend, Malik, was that, you know, these kids, they had nothing to do with any of that. And as you said, the focus needs to be on them. And I'm glad that you said it. The hockey community came together. They got loud enough. And they were able to save their season. And that's really what's important, because when we talk about inner city youth or youth organizations like that, the youth are usually what are left behind in these situations. And I think that that's obviously the biggest hypocrisy of the whole thing, but it is the youth that we want to focus on within this episode. So with that said, we had to talk about it because it's what's going on, but we want to focus mainly on Ice Hockey in Harlem because they offer so much more than just hockey, right? In fact, within your mission statement, hockey is really not even the focus at all. So why don't you talk us through a little bit about the organization, what Hockey in Harlem stands for, your experiences in Hockey in Harlem. Let's get that smile going. Let's talk about it in an enjoyable way that makes people excited about it once again. And then we'll talk about how people can help as well.
Right. So I'll talk about the program. Again, I went through it. I'm an alumnus. I started playing with them when I was 3 years old. They helped pay for my tuition, whatever. We offer free hockey for over 200 kids between the ages of 5 and 18. They start and learn to skate, and then they go through 18U. And that's it. They get a full season. And then in the summertime, we send as many kids as we can to camps all over the US and Canada, right? Hockey camps. So these are opportunities that other kids in the neighborhood don't get. It's that simple. It's creating opportunity. It's creating exposure to improve their lives down the road. It's not about making their lives better when they're adults. We also do enrichment programming. We have something called the Hockey Knowledge Series, where our young 9 and 10-year-olds learn about the NHL and all the teams and the geography and the equipment so that they actually know about the game, you know? And then for our older kids, we do stuff. We partnered with an organization this year. It's called RISE, where they have conversations about diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? So that gives these young kids a chance to form an opinion about stuff, to think about stuff, to have important conversations that they need to be great people.
Right. As hockey parent, I've seen the growth of my kids in many different ways by playing hockey. I mean, learning responsibility, time management, and also academic improvements too. Have you seen that with your kids as well?
Absolutely. Right. So the beauty of it is what they learn at the rink. You get up, you fall down, you work hard. It translates to every aspect of life. That is what's the beauty of it. And I definitely notice it, and parents tell us it, and they're super appreciative, and they're all dedicated. That's why these kids start at 5, and at 18 they're still here.
You know, Malik, one of the things I realized, I volunteer in Philadelphia with inner city youth a lot. And one of the things that I don't want to say was surprising, but was jarring to me was the understanding that a lot of these kids don't have the opportunity to leave maybe a mile radius for most of their youth, if at all.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that, as you said, ice hockey must open the door for life experiences, obviously in Harlem, but outside of Harlem. And as you said, to earn those life lessons. But do you think you could walk us through the experience of, the kids in Harlem and how this organization, in addition to all that you provide, but really opens up the door for them to see the world in a different way?
We get them out. We get them out of the neighborhood. Very simply put, we get them out of the neighborhood. We send them to camps in Calgary, Alberta, Sylvan Lake Camp, camps
Wow.
in Minnesota, up and down the East Coast. They go to the Rangers practice facility camps up there in Brewster. We put kids on a bus. We'll pay for their plane ticket. We say, go have a good time. We get our kids out all over the U.S. and Canada, wherever we can, during the summertime, and then um, college visits during the year where they can do a clinic, they skate, they get to meet some players. That is really the best part of it all, just getting them out. Like you said, it's very important. A lot of them don't have that opportunity to get out beyond the 1 mile radius. And there's not a lot going on in that
Right.
1 mile radius. So
Right. Right. And Mike, I'm going to throw it to you in a minute because I know you get involved in this organization. But Malik, I know you and your brother both went through the organization. So tell me a happy memory. Tell me one of your favorite moments, whether by yourself with your brother, or just in general of your time with the organization.
um, one of my favorite things was not at the rink. It was at the Willie O'Ree event in Minnesota. I must have been 10 years old, right before I went away, my first year before I went away to junior boarding school, the Willie O'Ree event at the XL Energy Center in Minnesota. So representing ice hockey in Harlem, for a weekend, playing a tournament, getting to meet pro players, and meet other kids of color and leaders in the game, and people that are growing the game. And that's why I came back, because this is important to me. Um, and I want to keep it going. And I appreciate you guys, because I know that you obviously recognize this is important.
Well, it's absolutely
Yeah,
important.
I mean, I got to tell
Yeah.
you, your story resonated all over with hockey. We're a tight knit community, us hockey families, and when we heard your story, everybody just felt what you were going through, the pain and agony, because we all can relate to that. If our rink suddenly shut down, the program ended for our kid. It's
Mhm.
it's heartbreaking. It's devastating for the kids. So yeah, we can all relate to what you went through. So that's a story that just resonated all over the country with hockey families, not just us here.
One of the things I want to talk about with this too is that, we talk about diversity in hockey, and the NHL's been saying hockey is for everyone. And Malik, I want to get your take on this because it's really not our place to speak. But I know that a lot of people jump on hockey is for everyone and diversity in hockey. And sometimes the action they take is maybe posting something on social media. But it's going to take a lot more than just a social media post to really push that mission forward. Right now, we're doing that through our podcast right now. Obviously, there's ways to do that through donations. But from where you sit, in terms of diversity in hockey and hockey is for everyone, what type of action can the community take? What type of things can the community do to really take part in that mission more than just saying they agree with the mission?
Our website is www.icehockeyinharlem.org. All right, you go there, you donate, and all the money goes right to the kids. Again, they play completely free of charge. What they can do is be there and make connections for us. Our kids need gear. We reuse gear. We send them gear. We need coaches. We need ice time. Our home at Alaska rink has stayed open, but it's also being shut down for renovation at the end of the year anyway. So we need ice time, and we need people to make this hockey experience true for these kids. And that's done by action, coming in person. To Zoom world now, Zoom, whatever you have to offer. If you're a math person and you want to teach our kids about math, teach them about math. Um, but we need people to act. That's what we need. You know, we don't necessarily need the money, but we need people to act. We need internships for our older kids, all this stuff. So especially ice time. Like I said, our rink is being shut down anyway. We're looking for a new home. It's not easy. All the ice is bought up everywhere. It's going to be a scramble. We're working on it, but we need people to act in any way they can, right? It's not one thing. It's not come to the rink, blow a whistle, coach them. It's not any one thing, anything you can do to help.
Yeah, no, again, you're inspiring me to want to do more just from speaking. You know, as we said at the top of the episode, the organization's been around since 1987. It's also sprung up other similar organizations nearby. I know Hockey in Newark is another organization. And the fact that you're struggling to find ice right now is almost incredible to me. Now, you're talking about people acting. One of the people that have acted is Mike Benelli, who's, you know, one of our co-hosts here, who's had some experience. Mike, I do want to jump to you because you've had some experience with this organization to get your thoughts. And you know what you think people can do, because you've actually taken a role in this and making things move forward.
Yes. So Malik's absolutely right. And I think one of the things that I don't think a lot of what he does gets exemplified is how rewarding it is and beneficial it is for the people that do volunteer. I mean, every time I've gone down there for the last 10 years and run either through USA Hockey, through an ADM clinic or station-based program, or in my own capacity with my own teams, inviting, and I would say this to everyone listening, and to Malik's audience and Ice Hockey in Harlem, it's so easy. And Ice Hockey in Harlem's allowed us to do this, is to go down there and practice with their teams. And I think we got snowed out this year or rained out this year, but in the past years, going down there with your Pee Wee team or your Bantam team, it is as rewarding for kids in Fairfield County, Connecticut, to go down and to lug their bags like the Ice Hockey in Harlem kids do, get off a subway or get off a bus and carry your sticks and your bags through the streets of New York City to get to a practice, as it is for the coaches too. And I think at the same time, talking about ice time, we've always tried to invite the Ice Hockey in Harlem groups to our rinks. And there's such a, I think we have to get out of the box that, okay, I have a practice on a Saturday, I can invite a team and run a station-based practice with their kids. It has nothing to do with competition, has nothing to do with skill. I think the coaches that we've run a program for Alan Strachan down at Lasker, who's one of the managers at the rink there. Every year, USA Hockey goes in and does the coaching education program, and the vast array of people that volunteer for the Ice Hockey in Harlem program. I mean, Malik, you could speak to that. Just about, how many different guys that get out of college, they play there, the amount of Division I ex-hockey players, women and men's that you have working with your kids is really unbelievable. And it's really, and that's the kind of stuff that I think, for Malik, talking about help and being involved, that's the kind of stuff I think that Ice Hockey in Harlem, benefits the people that help as well. And I think I think the kids see that, the coaches see that, the parents see that. And there's so many great lessons to be learned by, giving yourself for that time. And it really doesn't take too much effort. And it is hard to see, it's easy to write a check maybe for some people, but it's hard to go down there and give, your 3-4 hours of your time. And really, one of the people that jumped in to help Malik this year was Danny Heath with Project Hockey, giving free at-home workouts to every single kid in the organization. No questions asked. Not even a, oh, what's in it for me? Here's the link. Here's the program. Go at it. And I think that's the type of people you need in a lot of organizations. We're talking about Ice Hockey in Harlem today, but specifically you guys, Malik. And I think that's great that you have people like that stepping up to the plate.
Yes, thank you. And we have coaches who've been with the organization for over 10 years, and they'll speak to it. We have former D1 players, men and women. And at the end of the day, it's all about the kids, right? That's why they do it. That's why I do it. It's about the kids. It's about growing the game. It's about making them better people. And again, in our community, the reality is people don't play hockey. So our kids are hockey players. I'm telling you, they love it. They identify as hockey players. They're there. They're dedicated. And they're getting other opportunities on top of hockey that other kids around them, regardless of where they come from, don't get. So we're trying to even the playing field here for hardworking, deserving families.
And can I
Malik,
just add, I just want to add one thing, Christy, when you see the dedication, I mean, I've been down there. I have never been down there on a nice night, a nice, easy night. It's 5 degrees, the wind's blowing through the park, the snow is piling up on the corners, you're jumping over leaves. These kids have and they're there. They're smiling, they're happy, they're laughing, they're tying their own skates. They're out there, it's cold and it's not an easy. Imagine your travel hockey team saying, well, every time you have to practice, it's pretty much basically on a pond and you're basically maintaining yourself. That is what life is like. And I think, for what Malik does and the team of volunteers do down there, they give these kids an opportunity to do, you said it, to identify as hockey players is like one of the coolest things there is, really is.
I agree. Malik, I would love to hear about some of your kids in the program. Can you share a couple stories about the kids?
Sure. So I have one family in particular, this mom, her daughter, Arabella, is in Learn to Play. She's 6 years old and Learn to Play. Her son, Hector, is a squirt goalie, and her son, daughter, Amaya, is a peewee. So she's at the rink 3 nights a week, just like me. I tell these kids have been doing it. They love it. They do the home workouts. They get dressed themselves. I help them because I like to tie their skates or whatever. But our families are amazing. So that's just one example of like one parent with 3 kids. She's at the rink 3 nights a week, just like me. I tell our parents all the time, it's a little crazy with COVID. I'm like, go in the building, warm up a little bit. And they're like, no, I want to watch my kid play. Seriously, like, I want to watch my kid play the whole time. And it's freezing out there.
Malik, I want to bring this up to both inspire people to maybe volunteer and take action, but also to bring this episode even to a larger context. One of the things that happened when I started volunteering in Philadelphia, and I've always maintained this, that I wasn't expecting this, but I have learned more from those kids than I think they've learned from me. All right. I provided my knowledge and everything and expertise, but the truth is this, the experience and seeing even for a fraction of a minute, life through their perspective has really drastically changed how I view things. And one of the things I want to bring up, and this is an uncomfortable conversation for most people, and that's why I want to do it, is that you come to an understanding that I will never understand what it is to be Black or a person of color. Mm-hmm. And I think that one of the misconceptions is that people think they can understand. And I've come to the conclusion that I will never understand, and that's okay. And when I came to that conclusion, some of the discussions that I was even having with Black or people of color changed drastically in a positive way, because they could see that I had come to that realization. The hockey community, which is a tremendous community, has not always been awesome with this. Mm-hmm. So within your organization, and again, the other organizations, Hockey in Newark, the Ed Snyder Foundation, there's a lot. What are some of the things we can do as a hockey community? That's everyone inclusively involved, and also gender too, men and women. What are the steps we need to take together to kind of get past or at least understand that aspect of it better? Do you know where I'm going with this? Again, it's an uncomfortable conversation. It's almost an uncomfortable question, but we're not having these conversations. And these are the conversations that really need to happen for anyone to move forward.
That's a tough question. I wish I could say the game and all this would change in my lifetime, but I really don't think it will. We need to understand. You need to just understand, right? You can't identify I can't identify as you can't identify as me, right. But we have to understand. We have to understand, and we have to ask these questions and have these conversations. And we need to see it for ourselves and ask people and talk to them about what they're going through. Ryan Reeves started the Hockey Diversity Alliance with the NHL and then left the NHL and said it's our own thing. It's very serious. It needs to be done. But I think understanding is the best thing, right? It's not coming to an agreement. It's not arguing. It's understanding and giving it an honest look. People give it an honest look from an unbiased opinion, right? Then that's how we get through this. Give it an honest look from an unbiased opinion, which is not easy because we're human beings and we're all
right. Right. And we all have our preconceived notions. And, I think one of the things that I've never had a problem with this, but it's something I say to people is that boy, girl, Black, white, anything in between, we have to stop qualifying people in that way. It's a hockey player. right?
Mhm.
If it's a little girl, it's a hockey player. If it's an African American, a Latino, it's a hockey player. It doesn't matter, and we come in with preconceived notions. And the truth is this: when you take all the anger or frustration or stress out of the equation, and you just see a kid who wants to go outside and play, that can really wake you up to what are we doing here, right?
Mhm.
And I think that within your situation, this is what Ice Hockey in Harlem stands for, right? It's let the kids play. In
Mhm.
general, we're going to give everybody an opportunity to play, and it's one of the things I love about your organization. It's one of the things I don't think is getting enough, news or information out there. It's one of the reasons we wanted to do this episode, is to really highlight ice hockey in Harlem. Now, we know that you have a drive going on right now. I want to make sure that we do this again and let you tell everybody how people can get involved. What are the initiatives you're running right now? You said you need a rink. Where is the organization going right now? What do you need? What do you need from the people?
Check us out on social media, the website, www.icehockeyinharlem.org, Instagram, Facebook. We need ice time. We need to find a home. That's what we need. We need to find a home. So the rink's going to be renovated for 3 years, and we're still trying to figure it out. If it could have already been figured out, we would have done it.
Right.
Right. So every day, every day we're waking up trying to figure it out. And we have a team of people trying to do it. So
Hey, Malik, we don't want the competition, but can you talk about get off the bench and what you're doing too?
Yeah.
To resonate what your community and how I listen to those episodes and I hear the passion of you and the other folks that are in it, and what they've done. And because you've gone through the life cycle of ice hockey in Harlem. You're not just like, hey, I'm popping in because I just want to get involved and I have a professional background in this. You've actually are not only you're a byproduct, but now you're adding to the legacy of ice hockey in Harlem. Because maybe you could talk about that a little bit as well.
Sure. So we launched a fireside chat series. There are episodes on YouTube and Instagram called Get Off the Bench. Our first one featured alumni of the program. We've done one that features the kids of the program. We are doing that so that people, like you said, how can people get involved? Well, they got to know. So people can see our families and our players and their passion. It's called Get Off the Bench. And it is a virtual series that really highlights the players, the coaches, the volunteers, the alumni of our program.
That's great. That's good. And I think the stories are, they really help you frame for the listener and the viewer, what you need. And I think the real time need of this is not that the rink might shut down in 24 hours. It's this rink could be shut down for ever. Mm-hmm. So what can you do now? Because as we all know, everybody's a hockey person here, and knowing that it's a life cycle, it can disappear so quickly if it cannot continue to move forward. So I think that's one of the big things. And I think in talking about your is it a February donation drive you have going on right now that you've kind of reestablished?
Yes, we've reestablished that in an effort to just raise money like this stuff. So we're gonna need a new home, and the reality is a lot of our families don't drive. So at the very least, we need to be able to offer them a bus wherever they go. Buses cost $1,000. You can't just get a cheese bus and pile 20 hockey bags in it. So we're looking at an uncertain future right now. We need people to help us. We're looking at putting kids on buses and going to play wherever, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen. Whatever it looks like, whatever it takes, we're gonna do it. But we definitely need the support of people near and far. Again, this is for the kids. They love hockey. They absolutely love it. I love going to the rink to watch these kids play hockey. I don't get to coach them very often, but I see the passion in their eyes, and their parents are like, they love it. They love it. That's all they tell me. So yes, we're doing drives. We're working on some other stuff. We used to run 3 in-person fundraisers. Those are all canceled because of COVID. So we've had to transition, adapt accordingly, do some outreach, all of us. And we're making it happen. We just have to, right? People understand it's for the kids. We just have to make it happen. So we're going to make it happen.
Malik, I can see
Do you
that
have a
passion in your
GoFundMe
eyes.
page? I'm just curious. Do you have a GoFundMe page, Malik?
No, we don't have a GoFundMe. We have donations on the website. We're doing these
I think it's
these
this.
drives, different things on social. Yeah, yeah. So
Great. We'll definitely share that.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll share it with
And
the
it's great.
episode.
Like I said, and to watch it grow and to watch the, obviously the what's happened in the last couple of hours, right, has really expedited the need to be involved. But, I've gone to what Ice Hockey in Harlem does is they've done this great fundraiser every year. And when you go and you see the personalities that show up, all the Rangers, the Islanders, the Devils, the different broadcasters and, and Lee, you would love this, right? You get the hobnob with Stan Fischler and all those guys and hear all the stories. And I know when I bring the Maven, right? When I bring my son to these things, he's like, Jeff Bukaboom standing there. He's like, how did anybody play against that guy in the NHL? I mean, like, what could you do against that guy? He's a monster. But I think, Malik and the Ice Hockey in Harlem crew has really, it's amazing how many people from what, right? I mean, how many people have skated with Ice Hockey in Harlem players, Malik, and the NHL pros that come out with you guys on a daily basis in a normal season?
Lots of pro players, lots of Rangers alumni, and then colleges too. VU, Union, D1 colleges coming down. It's mutually beneficial. That's one of the things people can do. Where I went to college, we're going up there. I had the coach from Tufts call me, like, people want to help. But a lot of people come out to show support, and again, that's part of it too, right? I don't want to have to take our kids out of the community to expose them to stuff, right? People come to us, see us how we are, what we do, and relate to us on that level, and we can relate to you on your level. So it's really all around. It's a little bit of everything between the community and going out. But we've gotten a lot of support and attention throughout the years. I'll tell my story quickly, my full story. You see it on there. So Ice Hockey in Harlem gave me my start in hockey. I went to junior boarding school in 6th grade. I went to boarding school that was in Connecticut. I went to boarding school in Maine my freshman year, and then Harvey my senior year, playing hockey the whole time, right? That's why I did this. I was like, my mom was like, whatever, he's a hockey player, see ya. And she was, and I'll be honest, she was the first one. She was at every game. She'd ride the bus 8 hours to Maine to come watch me play hockey. But
Wow.
That's the opportunity she saw. Like, he's not in the neighborhood around here where there's nothing good going on. And then I walked on at Western New England University. I identified as it, and it drove me. And I was like, this is what I'm doing, right? Everybody goes to school, like high school, whatever. Not everyone gets a chance to go to college, but it's the one thing that people can identify with and like sets them apart and gives them something to work towards. That's not given to you, so that's the beauty of the game. I walked on, I was the only Black player. I don't want to say obviously, but obviously. But you know what? All my teammates always had my back, and that's why I came back, and I love the game and I respect the game, because I've had racist incidents. The first time I was called the N-word, I was 8 years old, but all my teammates always had my back, and I wouldn't put my kids in a situation to play a game. Like, if I thought there was no hope for hockey, then I would tell these families, don't play hockey.
Right.
If I thought they were going to deal with racist stuff every day, I would say, don't play hockey. But it's not like that. There is hope. There are good people out there. And there'll be better people for doing it.
Malik, I think that is an incredible message, what you just said. And in terms of there's hope for hockey, that's a great way of saying it. And it inspires me. I mean that. One thing I do want to say is just to make sure we're very clear on this episode, and thank you for sharing your story. To donate, it's icehockeyinharlem.org. If you go there, it's right on the homepage. You can't miss it. Malik, I'm happy to let you know that on behalf of my company, Hockey Wraparound, and the three of us, Christy, Mike, and myself, will be donating $500 to the organization right after this episode ends. And honestly, that's the least we can do. That is the least we can do. But the truth is, it's not enough, and you need more help, and you need more people to take action. As you said, a social media post, while appreciated, I'm sure, is just not enough. If you truly want to be involved, if you truly want to make a difference, and I promise everybody listening from experience, if you donate your time, it will be enriching for everyone, including yourself, especially during a time like this, during a pandemic. you'll be amazed at what that can do for everybody involved. Mike, did you have something you want to say? Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to also, because I know when this airs and we get this out there, and I just want to challenge, all the folks that are in the Westchester County, Fairfield County, New Jersey, New York City area. You call me up, I will work with Malik, and I'll give you the blueprint to show you how all you need to do is put 20 kids on a bus with masks on and get them in your practice and get them on the ice. I don't care if it's February, March, April, May, whatever it is. I think it's, it's a good, I think we've come up with a pretty good formula of, we had 2 years ago, I was telling the story earlier, Malik, we had, kids coming up on a bus. The bus broke down. It was -3 degrees. Everything was freezing. The equipment was freezing, but there wasn't not a smile in the rink when those kids got on the ice with our kids. And I think it does resonate because our kids, it was so, it was eye-opening to me because they didn't even identify them as black players in Harlem. It's a whole nother hockey team, and they're out there and they skate and they pass and they shoot and they illegally check and they do everything else that everybody else does. And I think, but I will challenge certainly our audience, and I hope we could challenge anybody in these, Westchester County, Fairfield County, the surrounding areas. All it takes is to have a place where your bus could pull up to the front of the rink and you could put your team on the ice with an Ice Hockey in Harlem team and put these kids on the ice. And I think that's a great way that you can contribute instantly, really without doing anything else, but adding, giving an hour of your ice time up. For sure.
At the end of the day, for everyone listening, these kids deserve to play. All the kids deserve to play. They deserve the chance to dream. They deserve the chance to play. What's funny is that as a hockey community, we've all been through this year. As Christy said earlier in the episode, we've all been through not having a rink suddenly. Every kid deserves the chance to play, deserves the chance to dream, and deserves the chance to excel within hockey that wants to be involved. Right now, before I close this out, Christy, I want to throw it back to you one last time and just see if you had any closing words.
I'm just very inspired, and Malik, thank you for sharing your story. And we always talk the talk, like we want to help, we want to do this, but I got to tell you, in the hockey community, we actually step up and do it. So I think you're going to get a huge response here, knowing the hockey families the way I do. Mm-hmm. And I'm really glad you shared an avenue for us who, we say all the time, well, we want to help, we want to make hockey for everyone. Here's an opportunity, folks, where you can do that, not just say it, but actually do something. So let's step up the way we're known to do that and help out Hockey in Harlem today.
There you go.
I love it. And I've loved this episode, Malik. I want to thank you so much for coming on here. We know you are incredibly busy right now. So the fact you donated this much time to us means a lot to us as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Happy to come back anytime.
Yeah.
We'll take you up on that. So thank you so much for listening. And once again, this has been Our Kids Play Hockey. You can check us out on ourkidsplayhockey.com. Make sure to check out Ice Hockey in Harlem, icehockeyinharlem.org, icehockeyinharlem.org, icehockeyinharlem.org. I think I said it 3 times so you remember it. For Christy Casciano Burns, Mike Benelli, and Malik, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lee Elias. Thanks for watching this episode of Our Kids Play Hockey. Listen to it wherever you can hear podcasts or on Facebook, Our Kids Play Hockey. Said that enough times too. And we will see you all next week. Take care, everybody.